Good morning. Good morning. This is Donnie from Passover Listings. Hope everyone is having a great morning. We got, of course, amazing news with the hostages, getting some back, which is amazing. So super excited about that. I hope everyone's well and getting excited for Pesach right around the corner in April, and getting their plans, ready to go and excited to book and go this year. This year is going to be a wonderful year. We have a special guest coming on. Pesach in Jerusalem is the name of the program. Those of you that you want to tune in right now. We're going to be talking about their program right now with fun with it. If you have questions, feel free to jump in. And as you know, we will always be here for you to help you out. Avi Rosalimsky, how are you?
Thank God. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You're calling in from New Jersey, right?
I am. I'm from
Very
New Jersey.
nice.
Yes.
Very nice. So this is a pleasure.
Thanks so much.
Different coasts.
Yes.
Well, it's
So,
great to have you on. And as I mentioned to everybody tuning in right now, we got Avi Rosalimsky from a wonderful program that is happening this year in Yerushalayim, called Pesach in Jerusalem. The program, just to give some high levels, details for everybody jumping in. The program's going to be at the Dan. Is it the Dan or the Don? How do they pronounce that?
the American Israeli, but we like to say the Dan Jerusalem.
The Dan Jerusalem. Okay, terrific. The Dan Jerusalem Hotel. Funny enough, I actually been there years ago,
Yeah.
years ago, and so I remember that's right by the. Is it right by the hotel, or close to it?
Uh, it's in like the Ramada Eshkol French Hill
Right
area,
there.
but it's a
Okay,
yeah. Thank
amazing,
you. Right.
amazing. So before we dive into the program, one of the things that people like to know, of course, is a little bit about who you are. I would love to get a sense, and I'm sure some folks tuning in and jumping in. One is, how long have you been doing these Pesach programs for, putting these on and these wonderful programs for people? And why did you get into the business? This business is an all year round business. Once you're done in April, you're moving on to the next Pesach. So talk a little bit about that. What made you kind of get into the Pesach program industry, and more importantly, how long have you been doing this for?
For sure. Thank you so much, Donnie, again for having me. First of all, I run this program with my partner, Dr. Doron Katz, who unfortunately couldn't be here right now, but he is really my partner in crime as he put this program together. For many years, I actually worked in running programming for the Gross and Schechter program in New Jersey. It's very close to Naomi and Mark Gross.
Naomi,
And
yeah.
I was working with them for many years. And unfortunately, when COVID happened, they, were no longer able to run their program after that.
Right.
And after COVID, a few years later, I said, Naomi, like, let's get back into things. We loved the program; it was amazing. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And they chose not to. But Naomi said, she's like, you've been doing this with us for a long time. You should start your own program. You got
Right.
this, and do it.
It was a good program. I remember Gross and
Yeah,
Schefter. You guys ran a really good ship there. It was, people
yeah.
really enjoyed it. Oh, so you kind of, so from there you went and
From
that was the
there,
impetus.
correct.
Oh, very
And,
cool.
and then I got hooked up with my partner, Dr. Katz, who's a very well-known general doctor here in the Bergen County area in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And I teach his kids in Yeshiva Noam, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a pillar of the community here in Teaneck.
Mm-hmm.
And he is an entrepreneur himself. He started Only Simchas, and he's done a lot
Oh,
of things in
you
addition.
started Only Simchas, the website?
That, yeah,
Oh, wow. Great website.
yes, Baruch Hashem. So both of us felt very strongly that there's no place that a person should spend Israel more importantly than in Yerushalayim. That every year when we say at the Pesach Seder, Lashana Haba Yerushalayim, we really wanted to give people an opportunity to say Lashana Hazos
Ah,
Yerushalayim this year.
I like that. Okay.
And to really have a meaningful and inspiring and uplifting experience for you and your family. And Doron and I, Dr. Katz and I, just partnered together and decided that we're gonna
Love
do
it.
this. People
I
together.
love it. And so how many years, so you've been doing it for how many years exactly?
So we did it 2 years ago,
Okay.
in
Yeah.
Yerushalayim. Last year we took a break. It
Yep.
was really mostly because the hotels
Yeah.
were mostly full of evacuees, and
Yeah.
we didn't want to kick the evacuees out of the hotels. Despite pressure to do that, we decided that that would not be appropriate. So we did not do that. We took a break, and this year we're back in action. The people, thankfully, from 2 years ago really want to come back, and many new
Amazing.
people signing up,
Amazing.
and Baruch Hashem, it's really turning out to be an amazing, amazing group of families
How
coming,
many
and it's good.
how many people are you expecting this year, roughly?
Between 300 and 400.
Okay, great. So
400,
not too big, but not too small,
correct.
but a nice size.
So big. What we were able to do 2 years
Yeah,
ago was really create a family, a community, a group of
yeah,
people that spent Pesach together and had an amazing time,
yeah,
learning together, growing together, and just enjoying the amazing food, the
yeah,
amenities, the lion, the trips. We'll talk about
yeah,
soon.
yeah.
All of the stuff that
Would,
Baruch Hashem was able to put together. It was absolutely incredible, and I'm looking forward to doing it again this
amazing.
year.
Would you say the people that came or that are coming this year,
Yeah,
what's the crowd like? Is it a mix of people from all around the world? Is it
yeah,
specific, more Israelis, more Americans? Is it a mixture of both? And what is the crowd? Is it more
yeah.
modern? Is it more, what?
It's a great question. I would say that in terms of geographical location, we have people from everywhere. We have people from Los Angeles, people from
Mm,
the East Coast, people from Israel, people
mm-hmm,
from London. We have people from all over.
mm-hmm.
Uh, we love when we can sort of become the United Nations in Israel. And that's really what Israel is. Everyone coming from the four corners of the earth
Yep,
to spend the Pesach in our home. It's very
yep.
special. But in terms of the hashkafa, quote unquote, of the
Mm-hmm.
crowd, I would say it's interesting. 2 years ago, we had Senator Joseph Lieberman, Oliver Shalom. Unfortunately, he had passed away,
Oh,
but he was
wow.
on the program as a guest with his family. And Senator Lieberman and his wife Hadassah they have a very diverse family. Some are more yeshivish,
Mm-hmm,
some are more not as religious.
mm-hmm.
And the reason why he came, and ultimately the reason why they were so happy at our program, was because they felt that their entire family, no matter where they were on the religious spectrum, really felt comfortable and happy and really were able to have an amazing time.
Amazing.
Uh, there's separate swimming hours for those that want that. There's family swimming hours for those who want more mixed swimming.
Yeah,
There are classes and shiurim for all different levels. There are trips that are more museum based, that are more fun, rappelling ATV
yep,
based. There are more oriented trips, especially this year, which hopefully we'll talk about soon.
yep.
Um,
See, you got something for everybody, but
there's
it's a mix. What the key is, it's a
one,
mix. You got,
yeah,
right,
and
yeah. And like,
also is that it's really the only place in Israel
mm-hmm,
where you can get two things. Number one,
mm-hmm,
where you can feel comfortable holding 2 days of Yom Tov.
mm,
That even places, hotels, or
mm-hmm,
programs in Israel that will say, yeah, you can have a second Seder. It's
mm-hmm,
really a Yom Tov environment for those that want that.
mm-hmm,
I hold two
mm-hmm,
days. My partner, Dr. Katz, holds one day. So both of us, we
mm-hmm,
straddle the lines and we make it appropriate and happy for everyone.
mm-hmm.
But we're able to really, for example, the second night. So they'll say you'll have a
Yeah,
second Seder, but the dinner you're going to have is a Chol Hamoed dinner
I
in the
see.
hotel. For
I
us,
see.
the Seder is going to be a really good Yom Tov Seder
Yeah,
dinner, which
yeah.
even though it's one day, we'll get as well.
Love it.
Really important, number one, that that those holding 2 days can feel comfortable. They're going to have a regular,
Right.
amazing
Yeah, yeah.
Yom Tov
Of course.
entertainers that we're going to have. We're not going to have a concert on a second day Yom Tov. We're
Of
not going to
course not.
have
Right.
a second Yom Tov, but certainly during Chol Hamoed we
Love
will.
that. Great.
Um, yeah,
So let's get into, well, so before we get into kind of actual program, I do want to, a lot of times people ask, how is it going in Israel, right? You guys are probably doing the most amount of research right now with making sure the program is going to be a safe environment and just really uplifting, with everything going on in the world, right? What do you tell people when people ask that type of question with really really what's going on? How do you approach that?
yeah, it's a really good question. First of all, just in terms of security, we have armed security guards. Not that we should need it, but just
Right.
better be safe than sorry. It's important to have armed security guards at any entrance to the hotel, 24/7.
Hmm.
That's certainly important. And really for anyone, especially on a day like today, when there's this hostage deal and
Hmm.
Baruch Hashem, we've home to their
Thank God.
families. Um, Time when you speak to people in Israel, whether they're governmental officials, whether they're families in
Hmm.
Israel, they need to feel that we
Yeah.
support them, and
Yeah.
not only by what we tell them and our support on the internet and social media, which is certainly important, but by our action, by our
Yeah.
deed, by how are we living our lives? Are we really putting our actions where our mouth is?
Love it.
Uh, that's really what the program's about. The program is about going to Israel, showing support, doing chesed. We're going to be doing things with soldiers on Chol Hamoed. We're going to be doing things with orphans. We're going to be doing things with victims of terror from October 7th. We're really going to be doing things and making it an experience where
It's
we can show
amazing.
that we're
That's
with you. Emo and no
amazing. I love that.
through everything that you're going through. And
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
Pesach program. The food's going to be amazing. The hotel's
Right.
incredible. what we call the Gashmias, the physical stuff is going to be, second to none. It's going to be awesome, but it's also absolutely critical in our mission that we go there to show them
Hmm.
we're with you. We
I
love you,
love that.
about you, and we're here
Amazing.
to support the way that we can.
That's so amazing. Amazing. I love the message you bring, right? Because a lot of times it's all about, the physical, right? Going out and, but to bring that like spiritual piece to the pie here, right? And give back and really kind of like, that's amazing. That's really, really amazing, obviously. I love that. So we got those tuning in, Avi Rosalemsky, Pesach in Jerusalem at the Dan Jerusalem Hotel. Let's get into it. So let's get into kind of like the specifics about the program. This is what people want to know. Let's get it. So let's start with the hotel.
Yeah,
Tell me about the hotel. We'll go through a couple things. Everyone who's done, who's tuned in, we go through the hotel, we'll go through the food, we'll go through the cake can. If you guys are tuning in, you have questions, feel free to put it in comments. We'll ask the questions to Avi live. But let's go through the hotel. How is the hotel?
yeah,
What's there to do
yeah.
there? Let's talk about that before we get into the food.
Okay, awesome. So the Dan Jerusalem Hotel is an amazing, amazing hotel. It's a massive campus.
Mm-hmm.
It's really rare. You don't really find such massive hotels in Yerushalayim. So we sort of get the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Two pools, an indoor pool, excuse me, an outdoor pool, basketball courts, tennis courts, spa, massive spacious lobby, beautifully renovated rooms. It's a really, really, really awesome hotel,
Right.
where you can really, really just, there's no reason to even leave the hotel
Right.
for Yom Tov. You can certainly go for a
Right.
walk in Yerushalayim. Beautiful. Um,
And they newly renovated. It wasn't
Yeah,
part like
it's newly
newly
renovated. It's
renovated. Yeah.
beautiful. I mean, we're taking only the renovated rooms in the hotel.
Okay.
Um, lobby's renovated. It's really a beautiful, beautiful hotel, and it's exactly what we want. The shul where we're
Amazing.
going to be in is a beautiful room. We're going to have a private dining room, beautiful. There's private Seder rooms. The lobby. It's going to be absolutely incredible.
Amazing. Great. So you have a lot of stuff to do on the campus itself. You mentioned a
Correct.
ton of different things. Great.
Like,
Okay. So let's get into the food now. I mean, everyone, it's so funny. We always ask every year, it's like, why do you go away? Of course, spend time with your family, right? You go away on a trip. You don't want to cook, clean, the whole thing, right? But a lot of, we're foodies,
yeah,
us Jews, we love the food. So talk about the food a little bit. What are you expecting? I know,
yeah,
2 years ago, people really raved about it,
yeah,
loved the food there. Talk a little bit about that.
yeah. Yeah, so the food's going to be awesome, really second to none. We're meeting with the chef now to go over the menu to really make sure that it's an American program. It's really, in my estimation, and based on the research that we've
Yes.
done, it's really the only truly American program in Israel. Again, with the 2 days, but even more than that, with a tea room where you have ice cream and candy and cakes
Yeah.
and cookies and slush, that stuff
Is
in a
is that
tea
the
room.
you brought up an interesting point. I'm sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt, but I do want to hone in on that, right? A lot of the people they always wonder, it's like, what makes an Americanized program in Europe or in Israel
yeah,
versus like an actual Israeli? Like how would you define that from your standpoint? When you say like, hey, it's an American program, what does
yeah,
that mean to you versus maybe some others, which of course are great too, but
yeah.
like how does that what's the difference there?
Yeah, so I would say the difference is number one is that we're the only program I believe that offers that includes 3 meals a day every single day.
Mm.
Shabbos, Yom Tov,
Yeah.
Chol Hamoed. You're going on a trip, you get packed lunches.
Mm.
It's 3 meals a day every day. It's included in the price. No, you're not paying extra for any more meals.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and again, we're talking about gourmet, really good meats, really good cuts.
Mm-hmm.
A type of kashrut for those that want to make sure it's a badatz, mahadrin kashrut.
Mm.
Uh, a top level kashrut in Israel, which is sometimes complicated. The tea room, again, I don't think any other programs have tea rooms in Israel.
Mm.
Uh, so in terms of the quality of the food, in terms of the quantity of the food, in terms of the amount of meals that are had,
Mm-hmm.
I really do think that it is the only program of its kind in
Gotcha.
Israel. The other programs are great in
Yeah.
Israel, but I do think that it's unique in that our mission and purpose really was, again, my experience was an American program in
Yeah.
America. So bring that to the best of my ability
Love it.
to the Israeli scene and to really have an American
Gotcha.
program in Israel.
Right. Yeah, you don't really hear that many of those types of Americanized there's a handful out there, which is nice. So you bring both aspects. So let's get into kind of the program that, people go away, they love to be busy, right? They love to go out, and obviously everyone loves to kind of hang by the pool and hang with family, but during, you got 4 consecutive days of
Yeah,
Cholamoid this year. You got a lot to do. You got a lot to keep everyone busy with. And of course, Israel's an amazing place to like you said before, go rappelling or go on ATV trips. We'll talk about that. But let's talk internal entertainment. What I mean by that is, the program will have, And then also let's talk about the events and excursions and things that you're going to also, I guess, tell people that they have the ability to go to as well. So,
Yeah, for sure. So again, so going back to the previous conversation of being a full Americanized
mm,
program, we have entertainment every single day of Chol Hamoed. Our Chazan Dovi Shapiro, who's unbelievable, is going to be doing a concert. We have Seth Meza, who's a well known musician, who's going to be joining him as well with a
mhm,
whole band. We're going to
mhm,
have an amazing mentalist named Dan Harrell, who's a phenomenal and world renowned mentalist
mm,
based in. Going to be doing a show. We have comedians coming. We have Nathaniel Katz, who's actually my partner, Dr. Daron Katz's son.
mhm,
If you look at Simcha on Wheels on Instagram, he's well known. Does bar bat mitzvahs every day. He's going to be doing a lot of entertaining for kids, for adults. He's
amazing.
unbelievable. Every single night, we're going to be having different entertainers. We're going to bring soldiers in. We're going to, like I said before, we're going to bring orphans from October 7th in and victims of terror into the hotel, give them free meals, and spend some time with them, helping them, supporting them, talking with them.
Love that.
Going to be there's really going to be no reason to leave the hotel, although certainly there's going to be plenty of opportunities
Right.
to leave the hotel. Every day of Chol Hamoed, we're going to be planning for our guests 2 to 3 different simultaneous parallel options of trips. The options are going to be number one, either museum based for those
Mhm,
that want the more educational type of
mhm,
experience. The
mhm.
second trip is going to be the more exciting, adventurous,
Yeah.
repelling hike, water hike,
Right.
ATV, Dead Sea type of
And those
experience.
are extra, of course. Right.
So some of them are extra. The Chesed
Oh,
trip will not be extra, which is the
okay.
third type of trip. We're going to be going to bases, doing barbecues with soldiers. There's going to be a lot of Chesed
Yeah.
trips. Those trips that we do charge extra for, though we don't make any money on the
Right. Of
trips.
course
All
not.
we charge
Yeah.
are for the busing the buses pull up to the hotel, they'll do
Yeah.
busing, the tour guide that we're paying for, any admission
Yeah.
fees,
Yeah.
anything like that. So it's really
And for those tuning in, this is
yeah.
normal, right? The additional excursions and trips, for those who don't, they're not typically included in the package, but it's nice to know that, again, of course, some of these other trips, especially the Chesed trips, are included, which
And
is nice, which is
we
great.
do all the planning for you. All you got to do is tell us what trip you want,
Yep.
and we'll add you to the bus, and
Right.
we will. Amazing day. They're really awesome trips.
Yeah.
One
Amazing.
of pivoting for a moment just to the day camp. One of the biggest
Yes.
if you want to call it a complaint that we had 2 years ago, was that we had kids who did not want to leave the hotel with their families to go on trips because they were having such a great time in the day camp. The day camp is run by Ben and Razy Schwartz, who live in Israel. They're unbelievable at running this. The kids were just having the best time ever.
Right.
Shows, animal
Right.
shows, talent shows, music shows. They were just unbelievable, and they just kept the kids busy all day. And literally, I had parents come to us again, I think in a
Yeah. Yeah.
joking kind of way, saying, "I don't really know what to do. We were planning a trip today, but my kid is having such a great time in the day camp
Which is
that they
from
don't
when
want,
to when?
which,
The day camp starts from when to
which
when?
is all day, all day.
All day.
Sir,
So you drop them off at 9 a.m.
correct.
and you pick
Yeah,
them up in the evening. Yeah, which is nice. A
yeah,
lot of guys, those tuning in, obviously, look, you want to spend time with the family, but you also want to enjoy, some time, with your significant other and relax a little bit. The day camps are amazing, at these programs, and that's good to know that you have a really talk about the day camp a little bit.
yeah.
So you said there's going to be a lot of events, but there's also going to be a lot of things to
A
do
lot
that
of things
these
to
well
do.
trained.
We have so far we have over 100 yeshiva and seminary students that have applied to be counselors for the day camp, and thankfully, we when we have so many, unfortunately, we can't take all of them, but we have
Yeah,
really the ability to choose and to take
yeah,
those seminary and yeshiva students who we think are going to be the best counselors for the kids,
amazing,
um, the role models for them, and just have a fun time with them.
great.
We're going to have Tamir Goodman, who's a world-renowned
Yes,
basketball
I
star,
heard.
one of our
Of course,
speakers,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
speaking, he's also going to be running basketball clinics during the week, during Chol
It's amazing.
Hamoed, for our kids and for
Yeah,
adults, for those
yeah,
interested, boys, girls, adults, anyone really interested in that. He's going to be doing clinics very often. There are 2 basketball courts or 3 basketball courts in the hotel itself that he's going to be running those clinics out of.
yeah,
So it's a great opportunity to hear his story and to speak to
yeah.
him and spend time with him on Yontif. But then on Chol Hamoed to actually, get on the
I'll
court.
tell this is such a hit. I'm telling you, when these kids go, and I see this every year, these teenagers or not even not teen, anybody who wants to go play basketball, someone organized to come and put on some, like you said, some clinics. It really, these kids love it. They love it. It's amazing to hear that. And he's a great guy. I mean, this guy's, been around the block, and super super amazing. That's all good to hear.
Yeah.
Avi, this was a pleasure. I think one of the other questions here everyone asks, of course, is comes down to how much is it, right? It's an amazing program. You're putting on an amazing program in Israel. Everyone loves to go to Israel, for Pesach. Um, if you were to tell us, right, the price for two adults, we're not going to include any kids for now, but two adults in one standard room, all inclusive, meaning, fees and taxes included, what would that go for?
Yes. So I would say right now the early bird officially is over, but if anyone reaches out to us within 4 days, let's
Hmm.
say, of the Instagram live video, and if you mention the Passover listings Instagram live, we're happy to give you the early bird, even though that's over. It would
Thank
be
you.
around $8,900,
89.
and again, that's for two adults
Yeah.
in a room, and that includes everything. One other
Okay.
point that we didn't really go into, which I'll just mention
Yeah.
briefly, the amount of speakers that we have.
Yeah.
Again, it's really second to none.
Yeah.
From Rabbi Benovitz from NCSY and the OU, for anyone that know him, from Rav Yosef Tzvi Rimon, who's really been on the battlefield and on the
Yep.
forefront of helping Israel through this tremendously challenging time. Rabbi Shalom Rosner, who many people know.
Yep.
We're actually having a special mega siyum with Rabbi Rosner that the public's going to be invited to on Chol HaMoed. They're going to be finishing Masechah Sanhedrin, so we're going
Wow.
to have a massive food with dancing, with music, a massive
Amazing.
siyum. Rabbi Rosner, Lori Palatnik, and her husband Rabbi
Oh,
Yaakov.
Lori is. Oh, that's amazing. You're having Lori Palatnik.
Lori Palatnik is going to be there. Yes, we
Amazing.
have tons and tons of speakers, and again, for us, the most important thing is that the adults can enjoy while the kids are enjoying as well, and not on their, holding on to their legs the whole time. So they're going to be in day camp. They're going to have
Yeah.
an amazing time, while the adults can go to classes, go on tours, spend
Right.
time together, go to the pool. Just
Yeah.
enjoy spending time together. There'll be time to spend time with your kids certainly as well, but it's really
Right.
important for kids can enjoy and adults can enjoy as well. Sometimes together and
Amazing.
sometimes.
Amazing, Avi. This is again Hatzlacha, Behatzlacha. This is going to be an amazing program. Anyone wants to go to Israel, check them out. You can check them out on PassoverListings.com. It's very easy to remember. Pesach in Jerusalem. You can't forget that name. And then your website, just in case people want to check it out,
Pesach
is just plug that.
Jerusalem.com.
Very easy,
Yes.
guys. PesachandJerusalem.com. Very, very good website I have. If you guys have any questions about it, you can always reach out to us. We can get you in contact with them, of course. Just ping us on Instagram. Again, take a look at them. They have pictures, they have video, they got reviews. Amazing speaking with you. Can't wait to see you, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for jumping on, Avi.
Thanks so much, Donnie. Be well.
Take
Take
care.
care.
Be well.
Take care. Bye.